Apparently that didn't work, but here you are. I'm Judge Bell, and you're here for first appearance. So the purpose of first appearance is so that you're informed of the charges against you. I will determine if probable cause exists for those charges. Probable cause means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person that committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me this afternoon, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations, and that presumption of innocence will stay with you through every course of the proceedings, unless and until the Office of the State Attorney is able to prove the allegations against you beyond the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We will let you know when your next court date is the Office of the Public Defender. I will gladly appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You will determine your bond, your conditions of pretrial release. In most cases, you have a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit and/or the warrant that led to your arrest. We'll determine if it will remain, be lowered, raised. Also, if there's going to be additional conditions like no contact. You're advised that you have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, to include family, friends, and counsel. Finally, and most importantly, you are advised that you have an absolute right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. For if you did and the court said something to incriminate yourself, there is an assistant state attorney here in the courtroom with me this afternoon. If you tend to say something, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. So now may I please have each and every one of you raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. And Ms. Doherty?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, ma'am. May I please have your date of birth?
10/4/84.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I have for you today 2 charges: knowingly driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those 2 charges. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like the Office of the State of the Public Defender?
Public Defender.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Judge, I've talked to her before court, and if at all possible, pursuant to plea negotiation with the state, if she could plead guilty to the charge and get a time-served sentence.
And Madam State?
Yes, Your Honor, we're in agreement.
Okay. And Mr. Doherty, is that how you'd like to proceed today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you please tell me your full name?
Generally Mary Daughtry.
And how old are you, ma'am?
38.
Can you read and write and understand the English language?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, ma'am.
And you understand that by entering a plea, you're waiving your right to trial by jury to confront the witnesses against you and to any further discovery.
Yes, ma'am.
You're also waiving your right to have the state prove the case beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you're giving up those rights to take care of it with this plea.
Yes, ma'am.
And in this case, to the charges of knowingly driving while license canceled, suspended, or revoked, and possession of drug paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? May plead no contest. No contest means you're not going to fight the charge
No contest, I guess.
or contest it, but you believe it's in your best interest to resolve it this way.
I believe it's in my best interest.
Okay. I'll accept your no contest plea. I'll find that it's freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty as to both counts. We'll sentence you to 2 days in the Hernando County Jail with 2 days credit for time served. We'll assess the standard fine and court cost, as well as the cost of prosecution, cost of defense, and cost of incarceration. And Madam Clerk, is that $450 is to count 1? And is it 113 to count 2 or 88? 115? 103. So it's $450 is to count 1 and $103 is to count 2.
Now I get to leave today?
If there's nothing else, hold you in county jail. You're subject to release today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
You have a great day.
And you as well, ma'am. Good luck to you. Mr. Cruz?
Translate.
Oh, wow.
I understand a little bit.
You understand a little bit of English? Okay. Did you understand the rights that I spoke about today, that you have the right to remain silent?
Mm-hmm.
And I encourage you to do that. You have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, like family, friends, and counsel. So if you need to make a phone call, you have the ability to do so.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so today I have for you a violation of sex offender reporting requirements. There's probable cause for that charge. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender.
Can you please speak up?
Public defender, ma'am.
Public Defender. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
So you'd ask for a reasonable bond taking into consideration the circumstances of the violation?
Yes, sir. And Madam State?
Mr. Cruz has a 2005 lewd and lascivious sex offense against a child, and the state would request that if bond is granted, that it be with the condition that he have a GPS monitor.
So condition of your bond today is going to be a GPS monitor, okay? And that's so we do that so I know where you're at. We can keep track, okay, while you're out on bond. And so I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. Condition of that bond is the GPS monitor.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to bring you back to court on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E here in the courthouse in Brooksville.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Did you understand everything that happened?
They say, go back with the GPS.
Mm-hmm. And a $5,000 bond.
Yeah, I understand.
Sir, if you get out, you have to come back to court on September 21st, okay, at 1:30.
Mr. Hope? Good afternoon, sir. May I please have your date of birth?
9/12/85.
Thank you. I have several matters for you today. The first is a grand theft, a charge of grand theft. There's probable cause for that charge. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney? Would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
I'll take the PD for all of them.
Public Defender? Okay. And you'd like them appointed in all of your matters? I have another case for you that involves one count of dealing in stolen property and defrauding a pawnbroker. I did find probable cause for those charges. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. And Madam State?
The state is requesting a 9:15 at 9 a.m. date, and that track was 23 CF 741 and 23 CF 1218. With respect to his criminal history, he's got 2023 open in Hernando County, use of two-way communication device to facilitate a felony and fraudulent use of identification information, and unlawful possession of more personal ID. In 2022, they just reopened, also in Hernando, uttering forged bills, grand theft, uttering forged bills. 2016, he's got a conviction in Pasco for larceny, grand theft, and in 2015, he's got a misdemeanor adjudication for petty theft and resisting a merchant.
And Mr. Hope, do you live here in Hernando County?
I do.
Where do you live?
Wikiwachi, you know the address?
Yes, please.
8322 Brentwood Street, Wikiwachi, Florida 34611.
And how long have you lived there?
About 8 years.
Do you have family in the area?
I do.
And whom does that family include?
Mother, father, a couple brothers, my kids.
And are you currently working?
Disabled vet.
I'm going to set your bond as to the grand theft at $5,000. And we're going to bring you back to court on that September 15th at 9 a.m. in courtroom D here with Judge Barrett Jr. and to track along with your other matters. As for the dealing in stolen property, I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. And as to the defrauding a pawnbroker, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. And I'm going to have you back in court on September 15th at 9 a.m. in courtroom D. All right, thank you. Mr. Moyos? Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Judge.
May I please have your date of birth?
April 5th, 1976.
Thank you, sir. I have several matters for you this afternoon.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
first is a charge of grand theft. There's probable cause for that charge, as I signed a warrant in that matter, finding probable cause.
I understand.
Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public
The
Defender?
public defender, please.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I also have a case for you that involves another count of grand theft. This is from a person 65 years of age or older. There's probable cause for that charge. Would you
Ma'am?
like the Office of the Public Defender?
I'm sorry, I received a letter from the state's attorney's office in Tallahassee saying that there was no probable cause in that matter. I really did.
The State Attorney's Office or the Office of
The office of the
Department of Business and Professional
The
Regulation?
DVPR, but the state's attorney's office found no probable cause and held me harmless. That's public record.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Well, I signed a warrant and I found probable cause for the criminal charge. So I'm not sure what they,
I thought that was the same thing.
I'm not sure what they reviewed. So I can't answer that.
Yes,
But I
ma'am.
can tell you that when I reviewed this the other day, I found probable cause, so I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
Because I read the warrant.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Would you like the Office of the Public Defender in that matter as well?
Please.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender in that matter as well. I also have for you a charge of receiving money as a contractor. There's probable cause for that charge. And if you'd like, I can appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that as well.
Yes, ma'am, please. I'm sorry, I don't understand that, Judge. Receiving money as a contractor?
I'll have your attorney explain that to you. It's outing after having received written demand for the money back. So, I'll have you speak to your attorney about
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And may I please have Mr. Moyes' criminal history?
From 2022 to 2023, he was a participant in 5 separate Baker Acts. In 2011, he has an adjudication for battery. In 2009, he has a DUI with property damage adjudication and a 2012 disorderly conduct.
Had a very hard year, ma'am.
I'm going to set your bond as to the grand theft of $2,000. I'm going to bring you to court on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E here in the courthouse in Brooksville. As for the grand theft from a person 65 years of age or older, I'm going to set your bond at $2,000. Again, bringing you back to court on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E.
Yes, ma'am.
And as to the charge of receiving monies by a contractor, I'm going to set your bond at $5,000. I'm going to bring you back to court on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Monday? Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon,
May I
ma'am.
please have your date of birth?
4/17/67.
I have for you today, sir, a charge of sex offender violation of sex offender reporting requirements. There's probable cause. Are you going to represent yourself, hire a private attorney, or would you like the services of the Office of the Public Defender?
Public defender.
Yes, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Your Honor, he's got an felony adjudication in 1999 of promoting sexual activity of a victim less than 16 and lewd and lascivious act in the presence of a child 16 or younger. 1998 adjudication for battery, resisting with violence, no valid driver's license. In 1997 adjudication for battery, misdemeanor.
And Mr. Monday, do you live here in Hernando County? I have an address for you on Piedmont Drive. Is that a good address?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how long have you lived there?
I just bought the house 3 years ago.
Do you have family in the area?
Yes, my girlfriend and my brother and his wife. And
Are
my
you-
son.
Are you currently working?
No, I'm a disabled veteran.
I'm going to set your bond at $10,000. Condition of that bond is you're going to have a GPS monitor. Okay? I'm going to bring you back to court on September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E here in the courthouse in Brooksville.
I'm not familiar with the bonds. Is that like cash homeowners or how does that?
You can
How does
post a
bonding
cash
work?
bond or a surety bond.
I don't know.
Normally, a surety bond is 10% in collateral.
Judge, did you set a bond on both accounts? The docket here says he's got 2 counts.
I only have 1 count.
Okay.
Do you have 2? It says 1. Oh, wait. Here's the other one. I have a battery on law enforcement officer.
Thank you.
Yes, I did find probable cause for that. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender. As for that charge, I'll set your bond at $5,000. And then again, you're going to have a GPS monitor. And your court date September 21st at 1:30 p.m. in courtroom E. Okay? All right. Good luck to you, sir. And I believe we're done.